Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Reprevel TV. My name is Mrs. Lydia Emmanuel Oduok. I'm a licensed nurse practitioner. So in this channel, we upload everything positive that pertains to life and how you can face life with confidence in God. And then some meal prep videos, of course. That is a basic skill I consider for both sex, whether male or female. Yeah, it can help you to survive. And then some self-care videos, motivation, gratitude. Yeah, so recently, if you check my channel description, I stated that I was going to do some tips on Saudi nursing job, recruitment tips, and that's what I was able to take advantage of during the nurses week. So we have already done 2 uploads, so please, I will encourage you check it out. We have done 2 videos, so this is the 3rd one, and in this video I really want to talk about the Snle scoring system. The Snle means Saudi Nursing Licensing Exams, but if I say Prometrics, I mean Saudi Nurses Prometric. Yeah, that is the computer-based test for licensing, yeah, for health practitioners in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so if I use Prometrics or Snle, please do not misunderstand me. Yeah, so I'm just motivated to do this because when I talked in the other the last video, I explained some things about the exams, but yeah, I explained about memories, I explained about the exams, data flow and all of that, but I didn't do much on the exams. So I feel it's important I talk about the scoring system, like everything that you need to know to prepare your mind, because if you want to venture into this, it's something that is big. Sometimes as somebody that is just trying to take a risk, that sometimes the fear will come, maybe what if this one happens, but I always encourage, it's good to be positive. Yeah, it's good to be on the positive side. It might not be so easy, it might not be so rosy, but if you're on the positive side and you put in your best and you pray God to grant your effort good success, it will always happen. So now, before I go into the scoring system, I want you to know that these exams, a lot of people have written it and they have passed. Some people will tell you that it's so easy. Yeah, it seems that way, but if you have not yet written, and considering that you only have 3 attempts, and there are some records that people don't pass at first attempt, maybe they pass at the 2nd or 3rd one, or sometimes they didn't even pass, you should be able to know that it's an important exam. So you will not want to play that game of wanting to come back because of what it entails. And another thing is, if at any point you didn't meet the cutoff mark, there is always a system for rescoring, but it's also stressful. Sometimes they can rescore you. What if you didn't have the pass mark, and after rescoring you don't still have the pass mark, so you see that you have to write again? No. So I don't when I'm talking about these exams, I don't scare people, but I like to put people in a position that you put your mind that this is something important, considering the whole process that is involved, because without this without passing these exams, you cannot have the license, the nursing license in that that can enable you practice for long as a foreign nurse. In fact, you know, in most hospitals you are given maximum of 6 months. Within 3 to 6 months you're expected to give them your license that you have written the exams. And in some countries, they have the exam centers, but in Nigeria at the moment there is no center. The center I know in Africa is in Kenya. So most people even prefer, most Nigerians, they prefer to start their data flow, start the memories, even get the eligibility, but to proceed to that exam stage, they prefer to come and write here. And now you know that the reality of the thing is, I always encourage people, because what we do in the exclusive coaching is we tell you the modalities of work here, the nursing work, how it operates, because the policy is not the same. In fact, when you start practicing, you will see that there's a lot of things that are within nurses' roles, nurses' responsibility, that perhaps where you were coming from, they were doctors' duties. So those things affect the nurses' policy questions in the exams, the priority nursing questions also, and then the nursing organogram here. You see that you have the coordinators, the facilitators, the head nurse, the charge nurse of the shift, and all of that. So you will always see these kind of questions. So like we explain some things about all of this background so that you have a good understanding when you see the policy, the nursing practice policy questions. You are not reasoning with where you're coming from, and the priority nursing question too. So irrespective of the fact that you have an opportunity to have access to a lot of study materials, you still need to understand that irrespective of how you have studied, it is important to make good use of the time given to you in the exams hall, because you'll be having 2 hours per session. You have 2 sessions. So if you don't make good use of the time, nobody cares how far you read, how far you had the tutorials. Is what you're able to do at that time that will give you your score. So I usually advise people, please don't waste time on a question that is confusing you or that is taking you too much time. After your check-in at the security point where you're being checked into the exams hall, you'll be given a plain paper and pencil. So in that plain paper and pencil, that is just for you, maybe for basic calculations. But what the nitty-gritty I tell people is, like if you see a question that is taking your time, or maybe 5 questions or 10 questions is from an area that you're not so familiar with, because questions will cover across all areas of nursing. So don't waste time, because your time is going. If you're wasting time, you need to attempt all the questions within the time given to you. So you can even jump from question 25. You see that 25, 26, 27 is giving you tough time. You can even jump maybe to 50. See those sessions. Of course, if you have read wide, some questions will be bonus questions. So yeah, that happens a lot. Of course, no nurse that is intelligent will go into exams and will not know anything. But the issue is always to score not less than the pass mark. So I even advise people, don't be at borderline. Try to score higher. So now, let's talk about the scoring system, okay? These exams is a computer-based test. So the exams has 2 sessions, each lasting 2 hours. So you know that an hour is 60 minutes. So 2 hours is 120 minutes. In between these 2 sessions, you have an opportunity to take a break of 30 minutes, but it's entirely optional. If you don't want to, you can click start to start the second session. So I tell people, once you have started, maybe question 50, you're contemplating between A and B, you still see that you have not even attempted up to 90, not to talk of 105 questions that is expected per session. Just write in that your plain paper and pencil, question 50, So in that your plain paper, you just write question 50, A or B. So you go through other questions, just do like that. Any question giving you tough time, you just write the serial number on that paper, so that when you are coming back to do round 2 of going through the questions you have not attempted, you know, if you manage time very well, you can finish attempting all the questions and then come back again to be confirming all the questions. So maybe you couldn't do maybe like a certain, maybe 10 to 11 was hard, 10 to maybe 18 was hard for you. So you just wrote 10 to 18, read line by line again. These are like the nitty-gritty that I'm talking about. And then prior to the exams, develop the speed of reading and understanding. Reading a question, understanding what is expected of you, because those case scenario questions where you will be having like 5 lines, and then the case scenario 5 to 6 lines explanation, and then you now see the options. They are also long. Some of them, option 1 can be maybe 3 lines, like that. You need to understand fast. So this is one of the things that you should consider. So Snle is a computer-based test consisting of 105 questions per session. This means you have a total of 210 questions. So that means for total 4 hours, you are dealing with 240 minutes. So without wasting time, this 210 questions is scored as 800 marks. So we are doing the mathematics together, and the expected pass mark is 500 marks. Please really pay attention. I'm going to do the attachment so that you also understand. You can come back to the video and watch again some other time to understand very well regarding this scoring system, because it's very important to know what is expected of you. So this hasn't changed, it's still the same. So 210 questions equals 800 total marks. So you want to know how many questions are you expected to answer correctly to score that 500 marks, that is the pass mark. Remember, we are not encouraging you to be at borderline. If pass mark is 500, you should strive to score more than 600. So when you do the mathematics, you see that 210 times 500 divided by 800 is 131.25 questions that is expected of you to answer correctly to score up to 500. So now we are doing percentage of the pass mark now. So you see 100% is 210 questions. How many percentage is that 131.25 questions that is expected of you to answer correctly? So you see that the pass percentage is 62.5. So it's something that is possible. Now, you could imagine making 210 questions to be 800 marks. It means that every question you answer correctly is very significant. So the mathematics there is that one question you answer correctly gives you 3.80952 mark. So to confirm everything, how they came across this 800 mark as total mark for 210 questions. So if one question you answer correctly gives you 3.80952 mark, I'm putting that decimal. So like I said, I'm putting the numbers after the decimal points because it's very important when you want to approximate. So if I don't do that, you will not get to understand how they are achieving this total mark of 800. Yeah, so you see that 3.80952 is the mark for one question you answer correctly. So if you multiply that by the total number of questions, which is 210, so you see that you have 799.9992, and when you approximate, and when you approximate it, that is 800 marks. Yeah. So now remember, this 800 marks is the total mark, and then your pass mark is 500 marks. So now remember when we did the mathematics, we saw that 131.25 questions that are answered correctly is what is expected of an individual. So now, if you now do 3.80952 times 131.25, you see that it gives you 499.99995. So if you approximate that, that is 500. So if you've watched up till this point, please subscribe to the channel, share this video, like, comment. This is something pleasing to put out information in a digital way, and I wish anybody that may want to take an advantage of this opportunity a resounding success. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, subscribe, comment, share to somebody else that might benefit from this video. And once more, happy International Nurses Day to all the nurses, and to God be the glory. The Nurses Week has come to an end. So the advantage of subscribing to the channel, you'll be notified whenever there is a new upload. So please do well to subscribe and stay tuned. God bless you. See you in another upload. Bye.